Emotion management isn't about suppressing your feelings. Rather, it involves skillfully recognizing and utilizing our emotions, which strengthens our resilience and shields us from undesirable situations. The first step is to pinpoint any negative emotions we might be experiencing. By identifying and labeling these emotions, we become less susceptible to being overwhelmed by external challenges, thereby conserving our mental energy. Now, we're going to learn how to manage our feelings using 3 simple strategies. Whether you're feeling angry, disappointed, or hurt, these tools can help you find peace and understanding. Strategy 1. Stop, think, act. Let's assume a time when you got angry in a game because you believed the game wasn't being played fairly. First, stop. You take a pause and take a breath, since there's no chance of demonstrating good emotional control if we're acting on impulse. So you stop to focus on being angry now. Then think, state the problem. What's happening right now that is causing your anger? Think about a solution or an alternative. What's the best way to resolve the issue? Finally, act. Try out the best plan. Maybe calmly discuss the rules with your friends. If you're not sure what the best strategy is, the best action is to communicate that to someone else in the environment. Sometimes the best emotional control is to say, "I need help right now." Let's see another example. Think about a situation in which you feel disappointed for getting a low score on a test. To navigate through your negative emotions, you first stop intensifying your disappointed feelings. Next, you think about what might have gone wrong and what you can learn. And then, you act by asking your teacher for help to understand the mistakes. In the last example, let's imagine you are feeling hurt by a friend's comments. First, you stop taking the comments and stop heeding your friend. Next, you think about why it hurt you and what your friend's motivation is for saying those comments. And then, you act by expressing your feelings to your friend and exploring deeper conversations. Strategy 2, the anchor view. It is about finding stability in the storm of our emotions, much like grabbing hold of an anchor in turbulent seas, using the easy-to-remember acronym ABC. A is for acknowledge, accept, and allow. B means bringing balance into your brain. And C stands for seeing what is needed. Let's use the same examples. Imagine you are feeling unfairness in your game, and your surroundings echo a stormy ocean. First, you start by acknowledging your feelings, giving yourself permission to feel upset, which reduces the intensity of your emotions. Then you focus on your breath to bring balance. You breathe deep and even, smoothing the rough waves of your anger. Having calmed your mind, you can now see what needs to be done. You might choose to discuss the game rules calmly with your friends to promote fairness and understanding. Another example is when you feel disappointed with your low test score. You are surrounded by stormy seas that symbolize your negative emotions. First, you amidst your disappointment and take a moment to anchor yourself. You can say quietly to yourself, "I notice that I'm feeling really let down by this score." This helps you not to get overwhelmed by emotions. Next, you breathe deeply, each inhale and exhale slow and steady to bring balance to yourself in the emotional storm. Finally, with a clearer mind, you see your options more clearly. You might decide to ask for feedback and dedicate more time to studying, turning your disappointment into a plan for improvement. In the final example, assume you feel upset by your friend's comments, just like in a stormy sea setting. You first anchor yourself by acknowledging the pain. You might say to yourself, "I notice that I'm really hurt by what was said. This is tough for me." Then, you bring balance by focusing on your breathing, each breath helping to soothe your nervous system, easing you out of survival mode. And, with a steadier mind, you can see your needs more clearly. You decide a better action is to express how you feel to your friend, fostering understanding and healing. Strategy 3, the child view. Imagine how a child sees things, freshly, with curiosity and openness. This approach is a great practice for emotions that aren't too intense, like daily stress, frustration, or irritation. It involves 3 key steps: stop, drop, and get curious. Let's say in a scenario that you feel a rush of emotions as your friends play without you. First, you stop. You pause right where you are, acknowledging the storm of feelings brewing inside you. Then, you drop your awareness from your busy mind down into your body. You take a moment to explore what's happening inside. You notice your heart racing and your hands clenching. You can explore these physical expressions of your emotions, feeling how they pulse through your body. Finally, you get curious about your emotions. What are they trying to tell you? You can imagine your nervous system as a guardian, maybe gearing up to protect you. You might try to embrace your emotions to feel how these emotions want you to respond, and you might be able to connect to yourself and others more deeply. Besides these 3 strategies, journaling is also an evidence-based way to improve our emotion management capability in the long run. You can check out more detailed methods and their rationale in the journaling section on our website. Emotion management is a profound journey, not just a destination. It's about engaging with our feelings to cultivate resilience and well-being. Embrace your feelings, explore their depths, and emerge stronger. Remember to make up your future emotion management plan and set up the notification for your assessment. See you in the next video.